Live. We are live. Hello and welcome, everybody. How are you doing today? So I'm here for the Q&A session for it's all about goals today. So today I'm here to answer your questions about goals. So if you have any questions for me, absolutely write them in the chat, write them in the thread, and I am happy to answer them for you. They could be about goals, they could be about something else, but the theme I thought today would be goals. So I have some questions that have been pre-sent in advance. So I'm going to start with those. But if you do have anything while you're on, then definitely let me know. All right. So the first question is, I have an opportunity to get involved in an investment that I've really wanted to get involved in, and it's in the direction of my goal, but I do not have the money. What can I do? I feel stuck and demotivated. And I think one of the biggest things, like so often we think about what we want and we have these big ideas, and the only prerequisite to having a goal is really deciding that you want it, right? So you need to have a goal, you want to make sure that you want it, and it's got to be clear in your mind. Now, when you are going to go for it, when you make a committed decision, that's when the answers will come. That's when the money will come, right? So here you're writing, it says, I want to get involved in an investment opportunity, and I've really wanted to do this, but have you fully committed, right? Like, have you fully committed to yourself? Have you fully committed to your goal? Because once you make the commitment, once you make the decision, then the opportunities will come. You've got to make sure to decide to do it no matter what. And often we look at our environment, right? We look at our environmental circumstances that are happening around us. And we might be like, well, this is how much money I have in my bank account. These are the people I know. These are the resources I have. Like, I literally had a friend message me yesterday, and she's going after a really crazy goal. She's got a new TV show that she's starting. And she is like, I messaged Jim Carrey's agent. She's like, that's crazy. That's pretty cool. And she's like, I would have never done that a year ago. She messaged a couple other people, some really, really famous people, and she's reaching out to their agents directly. But she made a decision to have this TV show be of a certain caliber with certain types of guests and influencers. And then as a result, things are starting to fall into place for her to be able to do that, right? So you can't look at where you are now in order to decide what you want and what you're going to go for. You just need to decide that you're going to go for it, and then go find it. If you don't have the money, go find the money. Right? Maybe you don't have it, but maybe you could find a partner. Maybe you could go borrow it from someone. Maybe you'll bump into the perfect person, but you need to make that committed decision in order to be able to do that. So the biggest thing I've learned is that successful people don't ask how much something is going to cost. They look at what their return on their investments is going to be. And if this investment has the potential for massive profit, and in this case, we're talking about money, right? It sounds like a financial investment. But if it's a financial investment, then you want to make sure that the profit that you're going to get is going to outweigh the expense. And so it's not how much it costs you right now. You may not have the money, but a lot of wealthy people, a lot of companies don't have the money. They go find it. So that is your job. Decide, make a committed decision to actually do it. Are you going to go for this dream? Are you going to go for this goal? If it's in alignment with your goal and the opportunity presents itself, are you going to just sit around and wait, or are you going to move forward? Okay, so I hope that answers that question. Next question. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, just put them in the thread. I see something in the chat. I have a goal. Make sure you want it. Have I fully committed to my goal? I think only you will know if you've fully committed to your goal, right? So when you sit there, sometimes we look at ourselves and we ask ourselves, like, am I fully committed or am I not? If you're asking yourself that question, that means you have self-doubt. You want to take some time to be quiet, right? You want to take that time to be quiet in your own world, to calm all that mental chatter, to calm everything going on, so you can actually start listening to the correct voices, so you can start listening to the correct messages coming to you. So if you have a meditation practice, you want to use the idea of meditation to just calm your mind so you can hear the messages that you're saying, that you're telling yourself. And then you can listen and you can decide if you fully committed. And if you haven't fully committed to your goal yet, then I want you to decide, am I going to commit or am I not? The choice is yours, right? And sometimes committing to a certain goal might not be the right answer, but only you can tell. And you want to really look at what do I have to gain by doing this? Right? It might be money, it might be opportunity, it might be relationships, it might be recognition that you're craving and desiring. It might be you fulfilling your mission or purpose. But what do you have to lose if you don't go for it? There might be a lot more to lose by doing that. So outweigh the pros and cons and really decide, like, what is the right thing to do? Count yourself down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, next question. Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Yes. So much self-doubt. I need more quiet to listen to the positive messages. Absolutely. Such a good practice to get into. Okay, next question is, I have a goal, but I keep getting distracted with work, my kid, my husband, laundry, calls from my mother, and I don't seem to be working towards it. How can I focus on it more? Okay, so let me just reread that. I have a goal, but I keep getting distracted with work, my kid, my husband, laundry, and calls from my mother, and I don't seem to be working towards it. How can I focus on it more? So again, tying back to the idea of, have you actually committed to your goal? If you don't have a goal that is so juicy and so compelling, something that you want more than anything, you're not going to find the time, you're not going to find the money, you're not going to find the contacts, you're not going to find the opportunities to make it work, right? You want to become so healthily obsessed with your goal because it's so important to you more than anything else. Bob, he talks about having a worthy ideal, right? A worthy ideal is something that you will trade your life for, something you want more than anything in the whole wide world. And when you have that kind of goal, you're not going to have distractions like work, kids, husband, laundry, calls from people, friends, wine. These aren't going to be distractions. You might still have those elements in your life, but they won't be distractions to you. They are going to be just a part of your life because you're going to do what you need to do to get to your goal. Now, if you want little triggers and reminders, a couple things that I do is I have a notepad beside my desk and I write my goal several times a day. I rewrite it. I carry little goal cards with me either in my purse or I have them at my desk. I think today they're in my purse. Let me just see if I can find them. Nope, can't find them yet, but I usually have them. They are somewhere today. I just haven't pulled them out. So today I was writing my goal. You can read your goal, or you could talk about your goal on voice loop and listen to it over and over again and auto suggest it to remind yourself of what your goal is, and do that self-hypnosis and auto-suggestion so it's in your forefront at all times. That's a really, really great idea. You can really weigh those pros and cons, and it's like, what would happen if I did get this goal? What would happen if I didn't achieve this goal? And what wouldn't happen if I did achieve this goal? What wouldn't happen if I didn't? Because those are great questions. They tune into your conscious and unconscious mind. So when you have the right goal, nothing is going to stop you. Circumstances, opportunities, people, distractions, you aren't going to be distracted. You are going to be crazy obsessed with your goal and absolutely love it. You will have frustrations along the way, but that is life. Those frustrations are challenges. Those things that seem like roadblocks, those are opportunities for you to move forward and really create something beautiful. Those are growth opportunities for you. All right. We have another question. What if I have realized I have a bigger goal than what I've been writing down? Should I just change it and start writing your bigger goal down? Okay, this is really similar to another question. So what if I have a goal that's bigger than my original goal, right? What if my goal started here and then it has magnified and it's turned into something massive and spectacular, okay? Let's use the analogy of climbing a mountain. Right? You're starting at the bottom and then you go up to the top. And so whenever you're setting your goal, whatever your goal is, it can be big, it can be crazy, and it can be something you've never done before and you have no idea how to do. You want to actually believe that if all the stars aligned, it could be possible for you. You may be scared, you may be really uncomfortable with it, you may be really nervous, but there has to be an element of belief that you will actually be able to do it, right? So if there is like no chance in hell, it's like, I have this goal, I want this, but I have no chance in hell I'm going to get it. That's probably not the right goal to set. So you want to have a goal that you believe that you could do. It might be crazy. It might be a really long stretch, but there's got to be something inside you that actually goes, yeah, if I've entertained this thought, I know I can do it. And when it comes to the unconscious mind, if you've actually entertained the idea of doing something, that means you have the ability to fulfill it. Okay. So you want to be really congruent with your mind. Now, there is like the big giant goal, and then there's like the next step, because sometimes to get to a big giant goal, this is like perhaps part of a life script or part of a bigger picture. You need to have other steps along the way. And so when you're taking these other steps along the way, you're going to take like a bite of that goal or a bite of that vision, and you're going to work on that. That's going to be your immediate obsession. That's going to be something you do over the course of 1 month, 3 months, maybe a year. But you want to keep something in a shorter term timeline so you can really start to see success, take action, and build traction towards that. So I hope that answers your question. Okay. Yeah. So Rebecca says, oh, I believe this bigger one, and it excites me so much. Yes. So your bigger one, that is your big one, right? That's your bigger one. But some of the other little parts along the way, you're going to still get to those. So all steps are important towards the path to success. You may not have to hit all of them, but there are going to be benchmarks that you've got to hit on the way to make sure that you are on track. Okay. So there's initiatives. It's almost like you have this big goal, and you just want to chunk it down a little bit so you have something that you're focusing on immediately. What is your next big step that you are working on? Going from 0 to 1 million or 0 to 5 million, that is a bit of a crazy stretch. Can it be done? Possibly, probably, right? I don't want to say no, because, people have done it. People have done crazier things, but they've also not let anything get in their way. So take your next big step that is going to be right for you. Okay. So only you're going to know how you can chunk it down and how you can move forward. Okay. Next question. How do I make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to hold the thoughts in my mind and to see my goal accomplished? Okay. So how do I make a conscious, deliberate and determined effort to hold thoughts in my mind and see them accomplished? So you've got to, again, make the decision in order to hold a thought in your mind. You've got to decide to hold a thought in your mind. And then one of the things, and Zubair, this is your question. So I think one of the things is you need to create pictures in your mind. So when you think of this goal that you have, what does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? Tune into all your sensory factors and literally write it out as though you're writing a movie script, right? You write it out as though you're writing a movie script. Then you sit there in quiet and visualize, like let the movie run through. You might visualize the whole movie start to finish, or you might really focus and hone in on one element or one part of that movie. But you want to replay that movie in your mind. You've got to write the movie, and you actually have to tune into your creative faculty. And so this is a different skill set for you. So take the engineering hat off, put the creative hat on. Go observe how children play. Go listen to some of the crazy stories that 3-year-olds tell. Yes, on my story on Instagram and Facebook, on my story, I shared my son and I, we were walking and we were doing gratitude as we were walking home from the park yesterday, from school. And usually gratitude starts with, I'm so grateful for ice cream. I'm so grateful for toys. I'm so grateful for books. I'm so grateful for school. Before, it used to be mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. Now it's all these other things. But yesterday he got into, I'm so grateful for pigs. I'm so grateful for pigs playing in the mud, for pigs playing in the mud with rubber boots. He put his creative hat on and he could see that picture. So you've got to start seeing pictures inside your mind and make a conscious. So right now you're consciously listening to me and deliberate effort. So that means do it deliberately every single day until it becomes burned into your mind, right? And you see it accomplished when you're visualizing. And it's best to do that right before bed, because your unconscious mind is going to work on that and process it all night. And part of that is like really seeing yourself doing the things, being that person that you want to be and that you want to achieve. So a big part of that is going to be action as well. So you just decide. You can either decide to do it or you can decide not to. And if at this point, if you're not doing it every day with all the knowledge you have, you want to really evaluate, what am I doing all this for? Right? So you want to be, I know with all the studying that you do, you want to be doing this every day. Otherwise, stop studying and start doing this. Replace your studying with the visualization. Replace your studying with crystallizing what you want. Replace your studying with actually taking action on your goal. Because you can study, but until you do something about your goal, you're not going to get there. Okay? I hope that answers your question. Just see if there's anything else on Instagram. Work on repositioning these cameras. If anyone has any advice for working on 2 devices at a time, let me know. I know you're supposed to strategically place them. I have not mastered that skill yet. So I'm totally open to a tutorial. So direct message me if you have any tips on that. We got a few more questions. We had a lot of questions that came in on this. So I'll keep going for a few more minutes. Okay. Okay, this is a good one. So I want too many things. I have so many interests and I want to do it all. And this is a really, really common problem. So can't focus because you want to do it all. And what you want to do is there's something that, think of this as 3 tiers. You can have it all. Right? You can have anything you want in life, and you can be, do, or have anything you want. And it might seem crazy, and there might be thousands of little elements in there. And yes, you can have it all. Think of that as your vision or your life script. You want to have a life script or a document or a picture of your entire life in its ideal form as you really want it to be. Right? This is your big picture. And what you want to do with your goal is take one piece of that picture that really excites you, that you've never done before, that is so compelling to you that you want more than anything, and go work on it until you get it. And you might discover that on your way to getting that goal, you get a few other pieces of that big picture along the way. So take the time, take an afternoon, take 2 days, take a period of time, take a week and write every day for an hour, whatever that is for you, and create that life script for yourself. But then you're going to take one piece of that vision and create a goal, and it's got to be a compelling goal. And that's the one you take action on, right? We work with goals in Thinking into Results, right? Thinking into Results program. We work within the context of a goal. And when you do that, right? When you work within the context of a goal, you can have a really clear mechanism. You have your starting point, you have your ending point. So it's almost like you turn your internal GPS system on in order to make that happen. And that's essentially what we teach within Thinking into Results, is how to turn that internal GPS mechanism on for your goal. Yeah, you can have your whole vision, but focus on one goal at a time. And as you do that, you will notice that other things just work themselves out. It's like magic, okay? But direct your focus in one place so it's not going all over. Otherwise, if you direct your focus here and here and here and here and here, you're going to be spread so thin that the creative energy you need in order to make something actually happen is going to be dispersed, okay? This is something I have been very extensively trained in. So it took a long time for me to actually be able to hone back and focus on one thing. And other things literally fall into place along the way. Okay, next question. Where am I on my sheet? There we go. Okay, this one's a quick one. So I set a goal and I keep changing it. I set a goal, I keep changing it. I set a goal, I keep changing it. I keep changing my mind as to what my goal is. And when you keep changing your mind, you literally just do not have a compelling enough goal, right? It's not juicy enough. Maybe it's not driving. It doesn't come from the inside. It doesn't drive you enough. So when you're setting a goal, you need to really look at what is highly motivating to you. What is so juicy that you want it more than anything else? You will trade your life for it. You will work on it and achieve it and go for it no matter what. So if you're changing your goal all the time and changing your mind, you need to decide that you will pick something and stick with it, but really tune in, quiet down so you could pay attention to what you want and what you need from the inside out. If there's any other questions, if you guys have any other questions for me about goals or anything else, then let me know. We've got a couple more that were submitted today, lots on the go today. And one that was submitted on Instagram is my favorite quote. Okay, I love this. So what is my favorite quote? I have so many quotes. You probably see piles of them on my feed all the time. My favorite thing is to go look at quotes and screen capture them and just search quotes because I think they're fun. One of my favorite quotes is by Kenneth Blanchard. And he says, you can be interested or you can be committed. When you're interested, you do what's convenient. When you're committed, you accept only results, not excuses. And so this one, it really, really packed a punch when I first heard it. And it's one that I keep reminding myself of. It's one that I share with clients. It's one that I share with a lot of people I talk to, because so often we're interested in making a difference in life. We're interested in things, but we're not truly fully committed. So got to be committed to yourself. And that is, I would say, my favorite quote, at least at this time. I love so many of them. I could probably say my favorite one changes every 5 minutes, but that one keeps coming up. That is really, really recurring. All right. How can I achieve my goal of having a new career when I'm still in a job that I do not love? Okay. How can I achieve a goal of having a new career when I'm still in a job I don't love? And this is something that's come up a bit with a few of my clients this year. Is they're like, I have this big vision. I love it. I want more. But, my colleagues at work are really stressing me out. We're in a pandemic. Our dynamics at work have changed. There's so much pressure, blah, 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 blah. These are really common things. And I think when you have a goal, whether it's career related or not, if you don't appreciate where you're at and really, really see the best in where you're at, you're never going to be putting yourself in a position to move forward. So I think regardless of what your level, where you are in life, right? You may be satisfied, you may be dissatisfied, but until you start appreciating where you're at, really recognizing where you're at and seeing the beauty of what you have in your current life, you will never be able to achieve more or move to that next level. And Science of Getting Rich, this is Wallace D. Wattles. This is a book I do not recommend you read if it's your first book. It is a bit of it's an intense book, beautiful book, wonderful book. But if you are not used to studying, and when I mean studying, if you've gone through TIR or through some of the other programs that we study and work with, you will know what I mean. But if this is your first book, probably not your first self-help book that you want to get into. But there's a chapter called Acting in a Certain Way. Okay, acting in a certain way. And Wallace Wattles says, If you are engaged in some business and feel that it is not the right one for you, do not wait until you get into the right business before you begin to act. Do not feel discouraged or sit down and lament because you're in the wrong place. No person was ever so misplaced that he could not find the right place. And no person was ever so involved in the wrong business that he could not get into the right business. Hold the vision of yourself in the right business with the purpose to get into it and the faith that you will get into it. But act in your present business. Use your present business as the means of getting a better one, and use your present environment as the means of getting into a better one. Your vision of the right business is held with faith and purpose, will cause supreme power to move the right business toward you. And your action, if performed in the certain way, will cause you to move toward the business. So he's saying, you may not be in the business you want. You may not be in the position you want. You may not be in the opportunity you want. But until you start acting and bringing yourself to your everyday as though you are the person with the big goal achieved, you won't be able to step into it. So I think that's a really powerful message. And I hope that helps, because if you're hoping to have a new career, show up like the person that has that career to your present job, right? Do what you can. Really show up in your life, in every part of your life, as the person with that goal achieved, and start loving that your current job brings you money. Start loving that your current job brings you opportunity. Start finding beautiful things about your current job. You may still leave, but until you start appreciating where you're at, you're not going to have the energy of being able to move forward. And you want to do something every day to move towards your goal. So if your goal is having another business or having another job, what are you doing in addition to feeling really beautiful in the present, having that energy of the future, but in the present? What are you doing on a daily basis to move you forward? Okay, so that is it for today. I hope this all helps. I'm just going to see if there are any other questions. Let go of that old job you don't love. Yes, good, excellent. If there are any more questions, let me know. And if not, we will be back here next week. Okay. So yeah, we're going to be back here next week again for another Q&A. Next week, I'll be doing a lunch and learn. I will be interviewing Rebecca Wagner, and she is a registered massage therapist and also a master results coach. And so what's really cool about her is she has literally felt the tension and the emotional stuff that people have, the emotional trauma, the emotional baggage that we carry in the muscles. And she's started to work with clients. And when she works with clients, she deals with a lot of people that have physical things going on, physical symptoms. It's like, I have a physical pain and I'm coming to you for a massage because my neck hurts. Well, she has expertise in not just releasing muscles, but also looking at some of the root causes of that physical pain that you might be exhibiting. So we're going to be really talking about the mind-body connection. Mind-body is this big concept that is name dropped in the world. And so she's going to be talking about literally how the body holds everything that your mindset is experiencing. So it's going to be a very cool conversation. I'm thrilled to be interviewing her. And also either tomorrow or over the weekend, definitely by Sunday night, we are going to be launching a very, very special thing. So if it's not done tomorrow, it will be ready very, very soon. It's got to do with gratitude. So stay tuned for that, because I am so excited about it. And I know you are going to be too. So with that, I am signing off. Have a beautiful, wonderful day, and I will see you soon.